Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahak Wadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father Yahweh and my Heavenly Big Brother Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to your apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashem Shah. Trying to put the spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears. You so-called, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? They be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations. Like, for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or a so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up on the plagues that the Lord bringing upon the whole earth. Just an update. Don't know how long it's going to be till how long this video going to be, but shit. It don't matter. The point is to showing you that the Lord is at work and they exist and they're at work. I meant to say it's not just one, it's two. The Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shah. I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the script my best ability. Say whatever God say through Spirit and power Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Wadash. Lord willing be on me. Let's get it.
1 week, one continent, 10,000 dead. Thousands died across Europe in a single summer as extreme heat swept across the continent. Now, scientists say this wasn't just a heat wave. Europe's oldest and most vulnerable
it's not just a heat wave, it's the plagues of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah.
Never stood a chance. And authorities are warning the final number will be higher still.
And they say probably be another one coming. A heat dome. Oh man, it could last till like fall. Man, I got the sleepies.
More than 10,000 people died across Europe during the record heat wave that scorched the continent in late June, according to official data. Figures released by Euromomo, a mortality monitoring network backed by the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control and the World Health Organization, show over 9,000 of those deaths were among people aged 65 and above. The surge was recorded in the week of June 22nd to June 28th, when temperatures peaked across France, Spain, Britain, and neighbouring countries. Lasse Vestergaard, chief physician at Denmark's Statens Serum Institute, which hosts Euromomo, said the scale of the deaths was striking for this time of year.
It is difficult to explain this high excess mortality by anything but the extreme heat. To have this kind of excess at this time of year is unusual. It's really high.
Scientists ruled out other likely causes, such as COVID-19, saying the spike could not be explained by anything but the heat itself. In the 8 weeks before the heatwave, mortality across the same countries had actually been running below average. Researchers have linked the extreme temperatures directly to human-caused climate change, warning that such heatwaves are becoming more frequent and more intense. Belgium and France logged the highest mortality rates of any European nation during the final week of June, according to Euromomo, which does not break down figures by individual country. Belgium's Public Health Institute, Cienzano, said the country's excess mortality was the worst recorded during any heatwave since 2000. The heat also caused widespread disruption, cutting power supplies, shutting schools and breaking temperature records across France, Spain and Britain. A separate study published on July 13th sharpened the focus on one country. Researchers from Imperial College London, the Met Office and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine estimated 2,700 people died from heat-related causes in England and Wales during the May and June heatwaves alone. Nearly half of those deaths, 42%, were attributed directly to the extra heat driven by global warming. Health experts say extreme heat kills largely by triggering heat stroke or worsening existing cardiovascular and respiratory conditions, with older people facing the greatest risk. With Euromomo's data still provisional and subject to revision, health authorities across Europe are bracing for the final toll of the summer's heat to climb higher still.
Alright, since the narrator stopped, I think I'm gonna stop this video and go on to the next one. What is this about? Oh well, I think I got enough videos. Or maybe not. I mean, add a little bit more extra ones in. Goodness gracious, that's an ugly bitch. That thumbnail, you can see where I was pointing at. I'm trying like, who the hell is she or what is she? Good googly moogly, that bitch is oogly. Oogly oogly. Googly moogly.
A catastrophic summer monsoon storm tore through the Tucson metropolitan area and Pima County late Saturday evening, leaving behind a trail of severe structural damage, widespread power outages, and life-threatening flash floods. Described by meteorologists as one of the most violent convective events the region has seen in recent years, the storm unleashed destructive straight-line winds exceeding 80 miles per hour, an ominous wall of dust known as a haboob, and torrential downpours that transformed city streets into raging rivers. As emergency crews work around the clock to clear debris, restore electricity, and rescue stranded motorists, local authorities have urged residents to remain vigilant. The National Weather Service, NWS, predicting continued atmospheric instability throughout the upcoming week, the desert community is now facing a dual challenge, recovering from a weekend disaster while bracing for more severe weather. The severe weather event began developing late Saturday afternoon in the high terrain surrounding the Tucson Basin. Fueled by intense daytime heating and an influx of deep subtropical moisture from the Gulf of California, isolated thunderstorms rapidly coalesced into a massive, organized convective system over Cochise and Santa Cruz counties before marching directly northwest toward Tucson. By 7:30 p.m., the atmospheric setup had reached a tipping point. As the storm system collapsed onto the desert floor, it triggered a massive downburst, a phenomenon where cold air rapidly sinks from a thunderstorm and spreads out violently upon hitting the ground. This displaced air generated a towering wall of dust and sand, thousands of feet high, which raced ahead of the storm cells. The National Weather Service immediately issued a sequence of urgent alerts, including dust storm warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings for the entirety of Pima County. For residents watching the horizon, the approaching storm appeared as an apocalyptic, rust-colored wall that completely swallowed the Santa Catalina and Rincon Mountains within minutes. The core of the storm made landfall in the metropolitan area around 8:15 p.m. The impact was instantaneous and violent. High-velocity winds, clocking in at 74 to 85 miles per hour at various monitoring stations, acted like a blunt instrument against the city's infrastructure. According to the latest briefings from Tucson Electric Power, TEP, the storm knocked out electricity to more than 14,000 customers at its peak. The destructive winds snapped heavy wooden utility poles like toothpicks and twisted metal transmission towers along major corridors. In Midtown and East Tucson, entire neighborhoods were plunged into pitch blackness as transformers exploded in brilliant flashes of green and blue light. TEP has deployed dozens of emergency repair crews, bringing in mutual aid from neighboring jurisdictions to expedite the restoration process. However, due to the sheer volume of downed power lines and blocked roadways, utility officials warn that full restoration for some heavily damaged pockets could take several days. Century-old saguaro cacti, symbols of the Sonoran Desert, were uprooted and flung onto residential rooftops. Massive eucalyptus, mesquite, and palo verde trees succumbed to the wind, crushing parked vehicles and severing overhead lines. Several commercial structures suffered roof failures. Strip malls along Speedway Boulevard and Broadway Boulevard reported shattered storefront windows, collapsed awnings, and significant water intrusion. Debris from construction sites was lofted into the air, creating...
Alright, let's get to another video. Same place, but from a different channel.
Think you know Harbor.
So here's the dust storm right now. You can hardly see anything.
In every video I play, if you want to watch the rest of it, you know what the title be. If you can magnify with using your phone. If you're watching on your PC, I don't know what can you do about that. You can probably magnify. I'm not about to zoom in, like, you know, zoom in, zoom out. I like this particular size, but anyway. What the hell was that? What the fuck? Well, look at the sky, boy. Not the sky, but just everything. Yeah, I got it on a certain speed because, bro, I got a lot of videos to play. That shit looking apocalyptic. Let me put it back on the faster speed. That shit indeed looking apocalyptic. It's that time, bro.
that dust storm rolling in here.
Hello, this is meteorologist Bill Harris. South Tucson, it is booming.
Powerful dust storms swept across central Arizona, covering neighborhoods with thick clouds of blowing sand and sharply reducing visibility. Roads quickly became hazardous, forcing drivers to slow down while increasing the risk of crashes and traffic disruptions. The intense winds carried massive amounts of dust through residential communities, affecting air quality and creating dangerous breathing conditions. People with respiratory illnesses faced increased health risks as airborne particles spread across populated areas.
Massive dust storm starting.
That's enough. Yep. It's getting dusty. What's this about? Anyway. Heat waves continue. Let's get to Canada, see what Canada got.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, what the fuck happened to my playlist? Why is this, my playlist just disappeared? What the fuck?
We got a tornado on the ground.
But my playlist disappeared.
We got a tornado.
Oh, now there it goes.
On the ground.
This tornado touched down just before 6 p.m. Saturday night, northeast of Tully B Lake, about 63 kilometers north of Lloydminster. The county of Vermilion River says there are no reported injuries, but several structures were damaged, and we know at least one home was destroyed. Nearby residents say it was a scary experience.
It started to come across our lake, and it had picked up the water, and it was like a wall of white aerosol just coming right for us. I thought I was gonna die.
Cooper owns Fresh Flowers. She says they lost their pump house, horse barn, and tons of trees.
It missed our house by about 20 feet.
Definitely twisting. I looked to the south and there was just white over top of the grass, and then the trees started to fold like paper.
Walter House lost the trees her late father-in-law loved dearly.
They were just a memory, I guess, that can't be replaced, which could be petty for some people, but yeah.
Western University's Northern Tornado Project says Alberta has had 24 tornadoes in 2026 so far.
The thing that's unusual this year is just the sheer volume of tornadoes that we're seeing. We've already had 2 EF3 tornadoes on the prairie so far this summer.
They say if we continue to see tornadoes like this, Alberta could break some records.
Yeah. You know, hey, it's the power of Yahweh Shema Shai intensifying these weathers. And if certain natural events. Hey, that's showing you them signs. Measure the times diligently. Let's get to the next one. And I don't have, well, I thought I had this in certain order. Like I had some videos lined up for what's going on in America, but now it's like it don't even freaking matter, man. I got these videos all mixed up here. Most of the ones in China, they're all together. But damn, I ain't realized I could have played this earlier, but oh well. I'm trying to keep it in an order where videos of stuff that's happening in America and videos of stuff that's happening in different countries. And if it's multiple videos of what's going on in different countries, keep them all together, group them together that way. But yeah, it's all mixed up, not all completely. This is in Texas and somewhere Louisiana if I play it all the way through, which I'm not.
A powerful, slow-moving atmospheric system, supercharged by an abundance of deep tropical moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, has unleashed torrential downpours across south-central Texas. triggering widespread flash flooding, paralyzing traffic, and forcing emergency crews to conduct numerous high water rescues. The National Weather Service, NWS, has placed Bexar County and the surrounding San Antonio metropolitan region under an extensive flood watch. Local authorities are urging residents to exercise extreme caution as consecutive rounds of severe thunderstorms continue to dump catastrophic amounts of precipitation onto an already saturated ground. The weather pattern shifted dramatically over the weekend when an intense corridor of moisture moving north from the Bay of Campeche collided with a stalled low-pressure boundary over Texas. On Saturday, the system intensified rapidly, bringing sudden and localized downpours that completely overwhelmed local drainage systems. According to meteorologists from the KSAT Weather Authority team, western and northwestern sectors of Bexar County bore the brunt of the initial deluge, recording between 4 to 5 inches of rain within a matter of hours. In specific flashpoints, such as Helites near Houseman Road, local rain gauges tracked staggering totals exceeding 8 inches of rainfall. The sheer intensity of the rain, with precipitation rates hitting 2 to 4 inches per hour in the widest parts of the storm track, transformed standard municipal streets into rushing rivers and quickly filled up low-lying highway underpasses. While a brief reprieve occurred on Sunday morning, allowing some initial floodwaters to recede, the NWS warns that the primary threat is far from over. A secondary, more robust surge of Gulf moisture is projected to bring the highest risk of excessive rainfall and dangerous flash flooding. The flash flooding has wreaked havoc on San Antonio's transportation network. First responders and municipal crews have been deployed across the city to erect barricades and shut down impassable thoroughfares. Loop 1604 near the Rim. Rushing water completely submerged the underpass near the Rim shopping center, stranding several vehicles whose drivers attempted to navigate the rising waters. Images shared by local commuters showed an entire delivery van trapped in a massive pool of standing water under the overpass.
Alright, let's get to the next video. What is it? Gas prices rising, global tension persists. I'm not trying to add any more in, but I'm still checking things out. I guess I will add that in, but I'm not adding it to the video that I'm doing right now. Just adding it to the list. See if we can work with that in the future. Oh man, you know what? Typhoons in China, actually that need to be moved. Why does she keep moving? Let's see what's going on in Germany.
Genau da. Stell mal vor, dass wir von meiner
flooded with hail, bro. Woo-wee. Woo. Oh, man, shit.
Das ist Alarm. Alter, ich hab ja Schiss um mein Auto.
Severe thunderstorms unleashed destructive hail and torrential rainfall across southwestern Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, Germany, overwhelming drainage systems and triggering flash flooding. Emergency crews responded continuously as roads became submerged and residents faced rapidly rising water levels. Wittenberg suffered some of the worst flooding, with streets covered by deep water that entered homes, basements, and businesses. Local authorities activated emergency coordination while firefighters worked tirelessly to protect properties and assist affected residents.
Bike through that shit. stop that right there. That's enough of that. Yeah, Germany, they getting their ass whooped. See what's going on. Now they're talking about China and Taiwan.
Live 的航班。
Typhoon Bobby, the most powerful storm to strike mainland China this year, brought heavy rain to the eastern coast on Sunday and lashed densely populated cities with violent winds.
Motherfuckers just floating. Man, you just think about how powerful the Lord, man. He just make this shit, just moving things with ease, man. Just, this ain't shit, though. It's like, man, it's like, this ain't shit. It's like you a kid messing with your little micro machines and you dip them in water or something. This is like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I like to have this type of power.
Testing
I love to have this type of power.
Country's ability to cope with extreme weather. Bobby had weakened by Sunday morning to a tropical storm as it pushed inland. But forecasters warned that the France-sized storm system could unleash prolonged and widespread rain across eastern and northern China in the coming days. Over 2.8 million people have been evacuated, according to a Reuters tally of figures reported by state media. Of those, more than 2.2 million were in Zhejiang, an economic and technological powerhouse in the world's second-largest economy. There have been no official reports of deaths or injuries. Bobby struck Zhejiang's coastal city of Yuhuan at around 11:20 p.m., 15:20 GMT, on Saturday, before making a second landfall in Yueqing, part of Wenzhou, at around midnight. The winds were very strong, Yueqing resident Li Liangxing told Reuters. We could hear roof tiles and tree branches falling. Of course we were scared, but we live by the sea, so we're used to it. Gesturing toward a flooded canal beside his residential compound, Li said he had never seen the water so high. There used to be a walkway there, but now it's underwater. More than 1,300 trees fell across Yueqing, with more than 700 of them uprooted entirely, state broadcaster CCTV reported. The deepest flooding reached roughly half the height of a vehicle tire. Emergency crews on Sunday deployed excavators and chainsaws to clear waterlogged streets littered with fallen trees. In the city's mountainous north, CCTV footage showed a landslide that sent large boulders tumbling onto a mountain road, while swollen river waters submerged nearby trees. In Kanmen, a coastal fishing town in Yuhuan,
Lock in with deals on all your game day.
This year's ninth typhoon, Typhoon Bobby, continued moving northward. From July 11th to 12th, Huancheng Manchu Autonomous County in Chengde, Hebei, was hit by an unusually severe rainstorm that lasted 48 hours. The rain poured down, mountain floods roared, and landslides occurred repeatedly. The disaster completely swallowed mountain roads, washed away road foundations, and cut off transportation. Floodwaters nearly reached the rooftops, leaving villages cut off, with water and power supplies disrupted. More than 100,000 people across the county were affected. Many vehicles were swept away, and some people remained missing. At landslide sites, some victims were suspected of having been buried. Many local people believe the number of missing and dead has already exceeded 1,000, far higher than the official figures. The footage
I guess that footage was showing but blurred out with somebody who was in that bitch.
And dead has already exceeded 1,000, far higher than the official figure.
Probably somebody there hanging on their life or either going down the river.
The footage was shocking. Floodwaters carrying
the river becomes your grave then.
Mud, sand, and rocks rushed downhill, while private cars were quickly submerged and swept away. According to reports from the paper and other media outlets, extreme rainfall caused severe flooding and traffic disruptions in 4 townships and 9 villages across Hebei. Many villages were washed away, and more than 18,000 villagers were unable to travel. Ms. Chow, the owner of a hardware store in Chengde's Guangcheng, recalled that the heavy rain began around 7 p.m. on July 12th and continued until around 1 a.m. on July 13th. At one point, floodwaters on the streets reached more than 2 meters deep. Ms. Chow said that she was still shaken by what happened. She said she had never seen flooding this severe before. Many items in her hardware store were washed away, and the rolling doors and windows were smashed by the floodwaters. By the morning of July 13th, the water level had gradually gone down, leaving streets covered in mud. Cleanup efforts and damage assessments were underway. The official statement said that orange and red alerts had been issued in advance, more than 15,000 people had been safely evacuated, and large-scale inspections had been carried out. However, many residents reported that warnings didn't reach remote mountain villages effectively. Evacuations were rushed, rescue teams arrived late, and medical supplies were insufficient. These problems exposed weaknesses in local emergency response systems. A survivor wrote online that cracks in the mountains continued to widen, while mudslides blocked village roads. Residents described the terrifying scene, saying the rain was so heavy you couldn't even open your eyes. The mountains kept making thunderous crashing sounds. Fear and helplessness spread through the area. Quancheng is located in the Yanshan Mountains, where there are many geological hazards, including more than 100 potential sites for collapses, landslides, and mudslides. Rural infrastructure is aging, and disaster prevention systems have remained weak for years. This extreme weather event, combined with already
that shit sitting right on top of that shit. Yep.
saturated soil created a deadly chain reaction. The flooding in Quancheng reflects the broader disaster prevention challenges faced across mountain counties across China. Complex terrain, scattered populations, insufficient infrastructure maintenance, and increasingly frequent extreme weather events caused by climate change. The huge
caused by Yahweh Shema Rashah.
Gap between official statements and information from the public highlights the long-standing practice of only reporting good news while downplaying problems, as well as a lack of transparency. Residents have been helping each other and uploading videos online to seek assistance. Mr. Ray told Chinese media that after learning of the flooding in Quancheng,
He talking about somewhat of the Chinese government faking out rescues. The military faking out rescues. Yeah.
and 12 others brought 5 motorboats and drove from Tangshan.
Alright, that's enough. Moab getting their ass kicked. Hey man, pray for the LA. You gonna have Israelites that look like so-called blacks, Latinos there, but then also you gonna have Israelites that look like Moab. The Chinese look like there. Yeah, you gonna have Israelites that look like the heathens. Pray for the whole. I pray for the elect. The hopeful elect become of the elect.
Harbor Freight.
And I pray for the hopeful elect all over the world to become of the elect.
Built for tool people.
Like me.
On July 11th, the Chaodong Emergency Bureau in Zhangjiakou City, Hebei Province, issued a situation report. At around 10 p.m. on July 10th, a section of Jianguo Road suffered a collapse. Authorities confirmed that 3 vehicles fell into the collapsed area. The 4 people trapped inside were all rescued. 1 person died, and 1 person suffered minor injuries. Officials said the cause of the accident is still under investigation. Some online commenters said, "Construction projects are being squeezed at every level. Can they still guarantee quality? This is why I no longer take road trips easily. There have been too many cases of roads and bridges collapsing. These are all shoddy construction projects. I think incidents like this will happen more frequently in the future because there's no money left for maintenance." A serious road collapse near Jianguo Road in Zhangjiakou has happened before. On August 27, 2025, several people posted online saying that a road collapse occurred at the intersection of Wuyi Street and Jianguo Road in Chaodong District. A large hole appeared in the middle of the road and a vehicle fell into it. Video showed water flowing into the hole and a car slowly sank into the ground. Pipes of different sizes could be seen inside the collapsed area. A person familiar with the situation said that the road section often floods whenever there's heavy rain. On the night of August 26, heavy rain began in the area. Before the collapse, water had already started collecting on the road, and a vehicle became tilted and stuck in the flooded area. Later, the road slowly sank, forming a large hole, and the vehicle gradually fell in. Photos provided by the source, along with other videos posted online, appear to confirm this account. In another shocking scene, a white sedan drove across what appeared to be a normal road surface, but the road suddenly rose and fell heavily for no apparent reason.
So like, whoa, what the fuck is a deal?
The driver then stretched a hand out of the window and waved toward the vehicle behind. A black car following immediately stopped to check what was happening. Moments later, another white SUV, unaware of the danger, drove through the same section of road. Suddenly, the surface split open.
That's crazy, bro.
Creating a huge hole that swallowed the SUV in an instant.
And the bike, shit, then his ass gonna be next.
Some people commented, the driver of the black vehicle had incredible judgment. Even as a driver with 30 years of experience, I don't think I could have reacted that quickly after imagining the situation several times. If I had seen that, I might have gotten curious and driven over it too, just to see if my car would bounce. Your video proves that the road was not damaged by the vehicle that drove over it. Others said, driving in China has become too dangerous. This is happening all over the country. More and more sinkholes are
Actually, this happening all over the world.
appearing across the country. It feels like the entire country is sinking. There are currently more than 300 naturally formed giant...
Talking like the infrastructure shabby. I mean, yeah, but it's actually the act of this is Yahweh Shema Shah, and you got the angels doing these miraculous works of these storms and making sinkholes and all that stuff.
Sinkholes around the world, believed to have been created by the long-term erosion and collapse of underground caves. Almost 200 of them are located in China, accounting for more than 2/3 of the global total. Most are found in southern karst regions, such as Guangxi, Chongqing, Guizhou, and Yunnan. These sinkholes are usually enormous in size, formed over long periods of time, and often contain ancient forests and unique...
Crazy, bro. The Lord got some shit down in there. He probably got some animals in there ain't never been seen before. You know, Esau wanna go down there and kill it. Probably got some dinosaurs down in that hole. Ain't no telling.
Ecosystems. Guangxi alone accounts for about 30% of the world's sinkholes, making it the most...
Got a freaking monster down there. They ain't, hey, I don't know.
...concentrated region for these formations. The Xiaozhai Tiankang in Chongqing is the world's deepest giant sinkhole, with a depth ranging from 511
That's enough of that. We get to Nahum chapter 1 verse 3. And the Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord Yahweh have his way in the whirlwind and in the storm and the clouds of the dust of his feet. I forgot I was hearing some brothers reading the scriptures, and I wanted to get the notes for that about notes about the heat wave, but I keep forgetting to go and get that and add it in my notes. But oh well, this still counts as a plague from the Yahweh Shema Shah. Isaiah chapter 28 verse 2. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah have a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast out to the earth with the hand. And Isaiah chapter 29 verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, with thunder and earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Let's see what this is about that dang virus. Now he talking about it's in Connecticut about the diarrhea disease.
Amazing.
Or the bubble gut virus.
Cases of a disease spread by parasites are growing across our state. It's called psoriasis. Doctors still don't know the source of the outbreak. Your reporter Katie Cohen is live at a
CDC
grocery store in Rocky Hill to tell us more. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Sam. Psoriasis is scaring a lot of customers. It's spread through parasites that can be found.
See, they all on their food. man. These niggas are attacking the food, bro. And they're gonna be somewhat of some famine of the bread. Shit, they can tell you to wash your fruits and vegetables. What if this shit is in the inside? Well, you're fucked.
Found in things like produce, just like this fresh head of lettuce, and people we talked to say they're actually making swaps at the grocery store to protect their families from this.
Dina Pizzaferrat is doing her weekly grocery trip, but after hearing about cyclosporiasis, she left some things off the list.
I'm kind of a little nervous, so I'm looking to see what I buy right now. But today I didn't buy any lettuce. I said, I'm okay for now.
Doctors say it's spread through parasites that make their way onto foods like fresh produce. There have been 23 reported cases in Connecticut since May, but the CDC says that number is most likely higher. Across the country, over 840 cases in
the CDC, but I'm like, the other ones. Was it what does they call that shit? The center of the it's the creation department of, I don't know, what do they call that shit? The center, I don't know, what do they call it? The creation disease center? I think that's what they call that. The creation disease center.
86 hospitalized.
Oh, it's 11:11 on the clock. Oh, praise Yahweh Shem Avashah, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Avashah.
Patients have been reported in 31 states. Symptoms include diarrhea and nausea that can last days to weeks, and doctors haven't found a source for this outbreak.
Typical things are what you would think are vegetables or fruits. In the past, it's been raspberries, basil.
They can just easily spray the shit on the food, whatever. Yeah, just spray the parasites on the food, and as easy as can be.
Cilantro, you may find it in lettuces, bagged salads. So it's a variety of things that can be contaminated, but they have not found it at this time. Take precautions with your fruit and your produce. We give the same advice when people go overseas that, you should always peel something, you should always boil something.
If you can't boil your produce, wash it really well, and washing your hands will make a big difference for this too.
Anyway, what about praying on your food? How about that? I always want to pray on your food and pray the Lord. Don't pray to the Lord you don't get affected by the bubble gut disease. You have a damn parasite in your stomach, in your intestines, because you ate a damn tomato or lettuce or cherry or strawberry, and it gave you the runs. That shit ain't gonna be fun if you got the runs.
So there is a massive outbreak currently in the United States, and millions of Americans are extremely concerned with how far it's going to go. But what we do know is that 33 states are currently involved. I want to break down what's going on, but first, gotta listen to this.
Well, here's your July 13th Cyclospora update. So right now we're tracking more than 3,000 cases across 33 states. Michigan remains the hardest hit area, followed by New York, reporting nearly 500 cases. Then we have Ohio, Illinois, Florida. I've also seen some significant cases. No deaths has been reported, which is excellent news. Cyclospora, again, is not a virus. It is a microscopic parasite that can cause prolonged
I keep calling it a virus, but still get you sick.
Watery diarrhea, stomach cramps, nausea, fatigue, and weight loss.
Okay, now, in that report, this is from last night, it says that Michigan has 1,567 cases. I want to show you something. Look at this right here. This is just over the...
if it's a parasite, does it stay in your system? Does it, once you puke your guts and poop your butt out, will the parasite go with it? Well, I don't know.
The past several hours, okay? It says cyclosporasis cases in Michigan surpassed 2,600 according to health officials. Now, I have reached out to multiple different health departments, and this is pretty much the common consensus, okay? I spoke with someone from a health department here in Washington State, and they said this, and I quote, "If anybody has the symptoms of cyclosporasis, they should go into their doctor and get checked out, just for a precaution. But it says, if nothing else, please, and I report, please, report your symptoms to the health department. We are doing everything we can to determine the cause of this outbreak, if at all possible." Okay. So what they're telling us is that they do not know exactly what is causing this cyclosporasis outbreak here in the United States. Okay. I want to play the rest of this clip for you, though.
Investigators still have not confirmed a single food, grower, supplier, restaurant, or distributor as the source. But based on personal illness reports, restaurant ingredient removals, and reported traceback activity, possible leads include cilantro, green or white onions, cucumbers, lettuce, bagged salads, and fresh salsa mixtures.
Okay. I want to show you something else that just came up today. Look at this. It says lettuce or salad greens may be the culprit in cyclosporasis. Okay? That's according to...
Time to get rid of all, burn it all, destroy it all, right?
The health officials. It says a statewide outbreak of a parasitic illness that can cause explosive diarrhea may be linked to lettuce or salad greens. This is exactly why
Forget about getting any fiber in your diet. And hell, that's supposed to cleanse you, keep your gut somewhat active and such. But shit, well, keep your guts active with that parasite, man. Puke your ass out. Yeah. But anyway.
In the Michigan area and in other parts of the United States, certain restaurants are actually stopping the use of lettuce. You cannot get lettuce, you can't get limes, you can't get cucumbers. Some are not even serving berries. I kid you not. I was reading a report just this morning that I believe a smoothie company or little cafe, they are actually not serving any of their berry smoothies. Okay, so no blueberries, no raspberries, no strawberries. You cannot get a berry.
Damn. You can't even try to eat healthy as possible. Boy, this famine gonna be some shit.
Berry smoothie, because
food shortage is gonna be the food shortage / famine gonna be some shit.
They do not want to contribute to this outbreak. Okay, I want to read this one last thing to you, and then we're going to talk about it. It says right here, although we do not have a definite product identified as the source of the outbreak, we want to let Michiganders know that we have learned so far they can take steps to protect their families. Early information has shown lettuce as a common product that regularly comes up during the investigation. We'll continue to provide updates as we learn more. Okay. So, according to multiple reports, it is lettuce. That seems to be the most common factor. Stuff that has lettuce. Whether you're eating a salad, whether it's a mixed green, it's a house salad, no matter what it is, a Caesar salad, it's the lettuce. Okay? Also, some restaurants like Taco Bell, Wendy's, they're not using the lettuce in some of their items. In some of their items, they're just getting rid of those ingredients because they do not want to worry about it. The same thing's happening with pickles. Some restaurants are not serving any pickles because they're concerned, again, that this could lead to an additional outbreak.
Well, anyway, this is going to lead to more famine, increasing the famine, food shortage. And it's going to be more shit coming down the pipe or the wire, burning through the wire, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we want to be prayed up and pray the Lord get you through these hard times, man. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, where you got wars, war. Because a major war, global war, brings in plagues, race wars, civil wars, class wars. Yeah. And there shall be famines, lack of bread, food, and such, by any kind of reason. What could cause it? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It could be multiple things that cause famine, especially when it comes to pestilence. Especially if that pestilence has got like your food got some parasite on it or some kind of bacteria, some weird shit that makes you sick. And earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So there's going to be a lot of hurt, pain, and death. When you seeing there's so much going on right now, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh no, this is just the beginning. The Lord is just, he's just cracking his knuckles. So, anyway, that's all I got to say. You want to receive mercy and protection and strength to get through these times, well, you better seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Bashah by praying Yahweh Shema Bashah, praising Yahweh Shema Bashah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Bashah, fearing Yahweh Shema Bashah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Bashah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Bashah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong, Yahweh Shema Bashah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong, Yahweh Shema Bashah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shema Bashah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and all praises to Yahweh Baha'Shem, Yahweh Shalom.